Priority given to development programming to enable residents share ideas and opinions, music and drama. At Citizen FM, we believe in progressive talk and solution-driven conversation. Our aim is to build a united Nigeria by bringing people of diverse culture together through communication. Enjoy listening to 93.7 Citizen FM. We are more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
Good morning, another compliment of the season. You're still on to Citizen FM 93.7, and our Christmas special is still running. It's actually day 2 of our Christmas special. But for now, we are going to have newspaper headlines, and by 8 o'clock, we also have a special interview session, and we're talking about the family. At 9 o'clock, we will return to some music. And at the 10-hour mark, yes, we will throw our lines open for discussion on the highs and lows of 2022. Yesterday, we had the editors' conference, editors' parley. But today, it will be the turn of the citizens to talk to us what were the highs and the lows of 2022. And at 12 o'clock, Damudu and company and Aisha will be around also to give you some other entertainment. And don't forget, at 4 o'clock, Udeme George will still be around for sports news. And 5 o'clock, Didi and crew will light up the studio again, just like she did yesterday. If you did not listen yesterday, you actually missed. But you still have an opportunity to catch up with the fun today as Didi hosts her friends from 5 to 7 o'clock. And after then, Fred will take over the airwaves and give us some good music. So that's practically a rundown for the Christmas special today. But let's start the day with the newspaper headlines, and there are so many of them. And I will be joined by Philemon via phone, and is standing by. Also, don't go away. Newspaper headlines will return in a moment. Thank you for staying tuned. It's still Citizen FM 93.7, and we're about to commence the newspaper headline review. And we'll start with the Punch newspaper. And by the way, you can join us immediately on phone. You can call in if you have any issues with any of the headlines, or you want to ask any question, or you want to make any observations, it's time. We don't have to wait till they have our marker. You can call us on 0903 2229797. You can also call us on 0818 2222205 and 0808 2222037. After the reviews, I'll run through the major headlines of the dailies today before we will give an opportunity to our analysts to look at some of them in details. We'll start with the Punch newspaper. It says 124 billion naira weapons imported in 4 years. That's according to a report. If you want details of that, pick up a copy of the Punch newspaper. And the World Bank says low revenue threatening health spending. That's from the World Bank. Another story here says tackle unemployment among youths. Obasanjo advises monarchs. That's former President Olusegun Obasanjo. And there's still another story here. Phone seeker. Oh, it's a very sad one here. Phone seeker electrocuted. Lagos shot events venue. That's still from the Punch newspaper. And from the Punch newspaper, we go to the Vanguard newspaper. Says on petrol scarcity, NNPC sells petrol for 148 naira, while private depots sell the same for 215 naira. Still on the Vanguard newspaper, we have another story here. I am not in support of Obi's ambition. I warned him to withdraw. That's from Arthur Eze. Still on the Vanguard newspaper, family of killed 28-year-old graduate seeks justice, alleges cover-up. That's another sad story that happened recently. And there's still another one here, another sad story. 3 bloated bodies recovered in Kirikiri Canal in 3 days. That's another sad story here. Yes, we take more headlines from the papers. This time from the Nation newspaper. Says disquiet in PDP over Wike's Makinde's others trip to UK. That's a political story there for you. And still on the Nation newspaper, we have 2023. Jonathan supporters begin campaign for Tinubu in Southeast. That's how the Nation newspaper puts it. And it says, another story here says, pressure on LP spokesman Tanko to step down as NCP chairman. That's from the Nation newspaper. Another story here says, votes for detribalized Nigerians. By Jabiamila counsels Nigerians. Vote for detribalized leaders. By Jabiamila counsels Nigerians. All right, thank you for staying tuned. It's still newspaper headlines on Citizen FM 93.7, and my guest is standing by. Phil Mona is on the line. He unfortunately couldn't be in the studio today, although we did not even give him enough notice. But all the same, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Good morning.
Okay. All right. We have a lot on our plates this morning. The newspaper headlines varying from the sad to the excited, and stories on travels and so many other things. But this is the one that cut across. It's a story on the fuel situation. And this is how the Vanguard newspaper puts it. Says NNPC sells petrol for 148 naira, while private depots sell for 215 naira. And this is how the story goes. Petrol shortage has persisted yesterday across the country as depots and petroleum product marketers Association of Nigeria continue to sell petrol at 215 naira per litre to marketers. This is an excess of 67 naira per litre, or 31% when compared to 148 naira per litre being charged at the NNPC independent marketers. Checks by Vanguard showed that many filling stations across the country were shut, and the ones with stock continue to sell the product to motorists and others at far over official price. What do you make of this?
What I make of it, I think there's some form of pathology to this fuel situation, and it is sickening to, as a person, it is sickening to me to talk about fuel situation. Yesterday I was talking to a friend in the UK, and we're looking at the energy sector around the world. Sometimes we just open our mouths and say, oh, there's an energy crisis around the world. The energy crisis around the world is not the same as the energy crisis in Nigeria. That of Nigeria is a special case that demands special attention. Maybe we need medical doctors to find out what exactly is going on in our heads, because I can't understand this. I can't understand it, and it is irritating. It is irritating. That's just all I can say, because no matter what we are saying, yesterday I heard you and Jido talking about it. We keep talking, yet we're still where we are. So what else do you want us to talk about, really? Oh, we should talk about the refineries that should be turned around. I don't think the refineries are ever, let me put it on record, the refineries that are being turned around will never, ever produce anything. Because we are talking about from 2007 till now. How many years is that? There are a few times I pray that my children should work in NNPC and perhaps be posted to the refinery, because that's the only place in this country where you go to work, produce nothing, and get paid. How about that? So
you
we
want
can go on.
you want your children to get paid for doing
Oh
nothing?
yes, for doing nothing. That's the only company in the world where you just go to work and you don't get paid, and you get paid and you don't do anything. So how do you sustain that kind of environment? And what is really the thinking behind it? How I really can't get it. No matter how you put it, you cannot put logic to this madness that we are doing. So whatever is happening at the petrol stations, they are irrelevant. My people say, what is at the bottom of the river? When it is not out, the canoe on top of it cannot have rest. That is where we are right now.
Just like we spoke yesterday, I completely agree with you that it's something that we cannot understand. There is basically no logical argument that can explain why we always have this ritual year in, year out. And this year was particularly worse. Started from January on and off till December. But then let's move on to some other stories. This time, drug-related stories. From the Vanguard says, drug war. U.S. supports NDLEA with forensic intelligence prosecution tools. And the story has it that the United States government has announced a project that will strengthen the forensic and chemical analysis capacity of the NDLEA, as well as its intelligence gathering and prosecution capacities. The latest support from the U.S. Department of State's Bureau for International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs comes on the heels of an award of 500 million naira grants to fund select projects in the agency by an institution in Africa. So, what do you make of this too?
Well, last week I recall very clearly. I was asking Stanley Bentu, how do police officers in Nigeria investigate crime? I have no clue how they manage to catch criminals, because these guys are working without any modern. They don't even have ancient tools to work with, let alone modern tools. How do you catch criminals without forensics? No fingerprint, no DNA, no whistleblowers, nothing. How does the average Nigerian police officer investigate crime? It beats me. So if the U.S. wants to help, we are crying, we are begging, they should help us more. But you see, it's not just getting the tools that is the issue. There is a system to the madness of crime investigation. I have read countless books on crime investigation. I am an addict of crime and investigation on DSTV. So it's a process, and the process starts from training, right? If you have a forensic person who comes into the site of a crime, how does it begin his process? The Nigerian police officers, NDLA officers, or any kind of person in the security sector, they have not been trained properly to investigate crime using modern tools. So you may have the tools, just that we have the Tucanos, for instance. We cried about having Tucanos. Now we have the Tucanos. What have we done with the Tucanos? The Tucanos will not get the criminals. It is how you do surveillance. It is how you monitor these bad guys. That all goes into effective investigation. So I would expect that the American government will take it further by helping to train our people. And our people should also subject themselves to serious analytical training before we can begin to talk about forensic investigation. But I think we have come to the point where we need to go beyond this archaic form of investigation that we are doing right now. That is why we can catch criminals. That is why a criminal can commit a crime in your bedroom and be in your living room drinking beer with you. And you wouldn't know that is the one that has just committed a crime because you have no way of determining who he is. We don't even know who we are. We did NIM, for instance. We did BVN, for instance. I have not seen where this data collected from us have helped in any meaningful way in catching criminals, whether in the banking sector or outside the banking sector, for instance. So there is much to be done, my brother.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to the Tribune newspaper now for another story that went viral yesterday. Says anger over murder of Lagos lawyer Bolanle Rahim by police. The story says Nigerians have expressed anger over the murder of a female lawyer, Bolanle Rahim, in the Abuja area of Lagos on Christmas Day. She was allegedly shot by a police officer who is currently in custody, according to the spokesperson for the Lagos State Police Command. There's a quote here: the ASP who shot Bolanle and two others with him have since been taken into custody. That's from the PRO. He said the policemen would be moved to the State Criminal Investigations Department in Banti for their investigation. So, I'm sure you heard about this story yesterday.
I did, and it's beginning to be frightening, and I'll tell you why. There's something mysterious about the way we run our country right now. Maybe not as mysterious, because I am beginning to see a lot of similarity between the American society and the Nigerian society. And incidentally, we went to America to bring their own presidential system. Somehow, we are running our apparatuses just like the Americans. You know, the American police, if you look at policing all over the world, they are about the worst in my consideration because of misuse of firearms. You don't get to hear that frequently from the United Kingdom or from Germany or from anywhere else in that matter. So it's the same thing. Whatever is happening in America is finding its way into Nigeria. Police officers cannot acquit themselves with the comportment of handling firearms. For me, once I approach a policeman, I have this high blood pressure because I am not sure what they are going to do. So I am very compliant. Before I get to them, I roll down my windows. I speak to them very, very politely because you are not sure what their state of mind is. Otherwise, why would a police officer just shoot somebody who is not a fleeing criminal? Even in law, when a criminal is not fleeing, you don't have any right to shoot. When a criminal does not shoot you back, you don't have any right to shoot that criminal. There are guidelines on how to use firearms. But we see our police officers falling short of those guidelines often and again. And you have innocent citizens who are falling prey. So I expect that the case will be properly investigated, and if the officer is guilty, he should be sent to jail or even his life taken. That's just it.
All right. We're still taking calls. The number to call is 0903 2229 797. That's 0903 2229 797. You can also call us on 0818 2222 205, or you can call us on 0808 2222 037. Any of these numbers. Oh, we have a caller here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Lawrence Omoite, sir.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, analysts in the studio, sir. Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Godwin O. Abuja calling from Maraba, the Abuja boy in Abuja.
Okay.
I want to react to the headline of the policeman who killed a lawyer recently in Lagos on Christmas Day. It's very unfortunate. My heartfelt condolence go to the family of the deceased lawyer. You see, at a time we are trying to recover from the NSAS saga that happened 3 years ago, Nigeria police is still going anti-clockwise. Even when the IG had pledged that this Christmas is going to be a huge free Christmas devoid of insecurity or killings. But it's a pity it is coming from the angle of the Nigerian police. I just believe the federal government will take action, punitive action on those hearing officers who have committed that act. So I still say I commiserate with the family, and God protects them and protect the deceased. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Godwin. Godwin, thank you. All right, okay, we have another caller here. Let's see this time. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Oh, the line is reading. Could you just speak up? Hello, good morning. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Larry.
Oh, Maxman, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to our guest on the telephone.
A very good morning to you, Maxman.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Yeah, you covered it all. You see, our problem in this country, for health, police killing, whatever the issue is we have a constitution in this country. It is, can we say our constitution is functioning? How do you expect peace? How do you expect people to behave normal when there is no control? What is the purpose of the constitution? It is designed to control society, tame and control society. We have it, we are not implementing it, we are not making use of it. People do all sorts of things and get away. So, generation, the thing is, we are transferring it because the coming generation seeing the upper, like I spoke to a boy the other day. I said, look, corruption is one of the greatest problems we have in this country. Your father's generation failed us. My generation is failing you now. What is your generation going to do? The answer he gave to me is, bros, we saw our father living life that way. Even you people, our elders, are doing the same thing. So we are taking it as a normal way of living. That is our problem in this country. Thank you. Let me give chance to others.
All right, thank you, Maxman. Thank you for keeping it brief. Okay, Philemon, let's just look at one other story before we wrap it up. PDP feud. Guzo waits in as G5 meets in London again. The Nyesom Wike-led group of governors of the PDP have landed in London in continuation of their meeting to fashion a strategy for the 2023 presidential election. The team left for the trip on Boxing Day. Yes, they have remained consistent in their call for the removal of the national chairman of the party. But the main story here says, I'm trying to look at where Guzo comes in now. Okay, findings revealed that Zamfara state-born politician, however, it was learned that the former National Security Advisor, Major General Aliyu Guzo, has now waded into the G5 feud with the presidential candidate of the party. Findings reveal that the Zamfara state-born politician invited Otom to his Abuja residence for a meeting over the crisis and subsequently spoke to Atiku on phone. Is there an indication that this might end soon?
I don't know why Nigerians are still fixated on this wicked thing. For me, they have peed so much. You know what the Americans say? When you pee so much into the soup, how do you eat that soup? Mm-hmm. A lot of guys have peed into that soup. Mm-hmm. There is no way these guys will be reconciled. Mm-hmm. Now, even assuming that they reconcile, what will they be telling their supporters? what would they be telling Nigerians who are looking at this whole show? Don't forget that the basis of this quarrel is so-called injustice, so-called unfairness. It is our turn. Now that it's our turn, you guys are taking it. So how does the resolution, how will the resolution come from the parties involved right now? Because the main issue will never be resolved. And the main issue is that you have somebody from the north who have been there for 8 years. The grounds of these guys is that it is the turn of the south. So if that singular issue is not resolved in the favor of the south, and it can never be resolved in the favor of the south because the boat has left the shore. So what is all this drama about? And as I said before, if they resolve it, it will only be that their personal interests have been resolved, not the interests of Nigerians. Do you agree with me?
That's
just it.
I think you have a point there. I also believe that it might just be too late for any kind of reconciliation. But then,
it's too late.
But then, Philemon, when politicians do their thing, sometimes they see what we don't see. But let's just keep our fingers crossed and see how this turns out. And basically, we have less than 2 months to the presidential
election. Yeah.
And,
so what are they still discussing?
Although they say in politics that 24 hours is such a long time. So
yeah, but when the damage has been done, you remember Hillary Clinton when they released those emails very close to the election. That was the end.
Okay, let's see how. This time around, I want to be very optimistic. Not because I am a member of the party, but I want election to be highly contested. I don't want a one-horse race. I want Nigerians. I want the candidates to fight for the votes of Nigerians.
No, I am absolutely convinced that the next election will be heavily contested. All the signs are there. Yeah. So this drama also adds salt and pepper to the whole show. So we wait and see. It's just a couple of months.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Philemon. I think we'll have to leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. And tomorrow it's another day, and we will do our newspaper headline review. But thank you so much for indulging us this morning while you were having a nice holiday. We wish that you have enjoy the rest of your day, Philemon.
I will, and you too, and everybody else in Abuja. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Well, that's our package today on Newspaper Headline Review. And don't forget, at 8 o'clock, we have a special interview on our Christmas special. And this time around, we will look at sustaining the values of the family. Let's see how that. Just keep your fingers crossed and don't miss it. It's going to be a very interesting session with our guest. My name is Lawrence Moite. Please don't go away. We will return at 8 o'clock.